Clock on the wall says it's 6:30. Good morning. We've been teeter-totting this morning on temperature somewhere between 29 and 30, depending upon where your house is. However you slice that, it is still cold, isn't it? That's what we've got. We're headed for a high of 60 today, but the wind's going to be calm, so it should be near perfect outside as you plan your day. Don't forget, we've got rain in the forecast coming for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so it can turn out to be wet if you plan outside activities late night on Christmas Eve or in the morning. So be careful. Whatever we do, we still got some more roadside checks we'll be telling you about. DUIs, they set up. And it's important this time of year. We need to keep that off the street and make sure everybody's safe. We'll tell you more about that this morning beginning at 7. How do you feel? Well, we certainly hope well as we all try to huddle and warm up and get this day started. I've been backed up to a heater most of the day. Getting better, though. I'm coming around. Let's get this day started as we go to Collinsville now to the First Baptist Church. Let's get a good word.
Today we continue our focus on the ancient Christian tradition of Advent. In Isaiah 9:6, we read a prophecy about the coming Messiah Christ. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And so we'll meditate on these names as we count up to Christmas. Today, we focus on Jesus Christ being Wonderful Counselor and light the pink candle of joy. We live in a world that's overloaded with opinions and advice, don't we? Some of it's good, but most of it, without a doubt, is bad. Even those who often give good advice can unintentionally lead us astray. It's just hard to know who to trust. Against that vast backdrop of unreliable human advice, Jesus Christ shines brightly. He's our wonderful counselor. He always speaks truth and sees what's really happening. He always understands what should be and knows what's best. He always leads us to joy. And so, brothers and sisters, Jesus' counsel might not always be what we would counsel other humans, because as God, how searchable are his judgments and how inscrutable his ways, right? We're so limited in our abilities that the counsel Christ brings often defies our expectations. Yet his counsel is always wonderful. His plan is always perfect. It always leads to joy if we'll only follow it. And so as you move forward in life, wondering how to think and what to do and where to go, it's time to turn off the world and turn up Jesus, our wonderful counselor, so that you can maximize your joy this Christmas in all ways. Merry Christmas. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mounty Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And welcome back. What a great message to have. Christmas, December the 21st. Keep in mind, today is two things. Today is officially the first day of winter. Number two, it is the shortest day of the year. It will be darker quicker than any other day of the year. So be prepared for that as we travel along. It will be short. How do you feel? Well, let's hope you feel wonderful. I see comments that there's a virus going around. We don't need anybody getting that. I wasn't aware of it, but I certainly don't want to be introduced to it firsthand. Do you, Odie? No. Odie's saying a big no over there also. Good morning to KK, all the way from Bailey this morning. Kona Hatta is joining us. Joy, how are you doing? Heather, how are you doing? Philadelphia. I saw some 29s mentioned there in the comments this morning also. Yeah, Terry, Philadelphia, 29 this morning. Woo, Jerome, how are you feeling? Lots of you. How are y'all? Now, there's nothing, is the word that I'm looking for as I look at headlines this morning, is it cocky? Is it over when you think so much of yourself? What's it called, Odie, when you're just very impressed? Arrogant? Oh, that's the word. Some 15 months ago, a young lady claimed that she was arrested because she was pretty. Y'all remember that? She went on to kill her mother. Well, this happened. Let me show you a picture. This is from Blaze Media, and let me just show you that. That's the young lady there. I don't agree with her statement at all.
You said pretty or ugly?
She said pretty is what she claimed is why she was arrested originally. She would get into an argument with her mother about cigarettes. She would bust a table and the glass would be broken. She would pick up a piece of glass from that and stab her mother. She would flee the scene. Police would stop her. I think a state away. She fled the scene, still covered in blood. She's been sentenced to 15 years to life, which means she'll probably get out in 15. Good behavior, won't it? I've gone over the name several times. Her name, and again, I'm not real good if it's not Fred or Sally, but I'll try to pronounce it. Her name was Hindi Bousmeh. Yeah, that's probably not right. Her mother was Alpha Hussein. That's close. I can't pronounce either one, but how tragic. Her mother was only 61, killed her over a pack of cigarettes. She's got some time to think about it as she heads to jail. Blaze Media, I think we've all heard of that, and I glanced at that last night, and I thought, wow. As we start seeing, you can have your political beliefs. I don't think there's any harm in anybody believing one way or the other. It's your thought process. But when you start putting it before children whose minds have not been, well, they're not fully developed yet. They need to make their decisions as they get older in life. Anybody familiar with a show called Coco Cumulin Lane? Maybe I'm close on that. Cocumlin Lane. Let me show you the picture here. This is a very popular with kids 0 to 2, I understand. Here's a picture of it from Blaze Media. Well, what they have done, they're being blasted today, is they had a scene in it to where the parents are of the same sex, and the little boy dresses in a tiara and a tutu, and they urge the boy to be himself. Way, way too young to start doing things like this. But that's what's out there, and you need to be aware of this in case your child, if you disagree with that, to where you can use those parental guidelines. Coco Melon. Sandy, thank you. Sandy knew what I was talking about. I didn't pronounce it. I was saying cuckoo is cocoa.
Well, it is a little cuckoo.
For Cocoa Puffs. I knew that was coming. Y'all get the point. I was a little off center there pronouncing it correctly, but they've started in cartoons now. Oh, I know that things have been hidden in the Disney network for years. Y'all know that as I have. Here's the scene as you go to Twitter. You can see all of this on Twitter there. Be who you'd like to be. Just be you. We're up to date on that. Now you know. How did we get in the mess that we're in the United States? I think this is a start. New York City. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. If you do something bad while you're in jail, you should be separated. Let's say that you're a very bad fella and that you might hurt someone else. Solitary confinement has always been a great place for you. They're banning solitary confinement in New York City jails. They don't agree with it.
Wow.
I am really worried about the direction of our country. There's lots of reason for solitary confinement. And I promise you, for those, and I have talked to a lot of people who have been to jail that don't want to be in the same cell with somebody else that, well, is cuckoo.
Yeah.
That happens out there. There are a lot of people that are sent to jail over a misdemeanor or not a huge crime, and they don't need to be in the cell with someone who has issues. I promise you. I think this is a very wrong move in New York, but that's what's going on in New York. Now, it's hard to believe that a criminal would actually do work to steal, but it has happened, and I thought we'd tell you. Georgia is where this all happened. The new shift started at 7 o'clock at the Waffle House. She showed up, worked for 2 hours, then she got brave enough to take the cash out of the cash register and run. Worked for 2 hours to get into the cash register.
Did she come back for her patient?
I don't think she showed back up for that. There's just the criminal. There's just not much they won't do. First time, though, I've heard of actually working to take something there.
Yeah.
We've mentioned several days this week about Arlington National Cemetery, as we've been watching to where a Confederate monument was ordered to be taken down from the cemetery. Then it was paused. The judge has come back and he said he was told untrue things. The only reason that he paused it was that somebody said that graves were being trampled on as they were removing the statue. It has begun again. It will be down in no time as they lift and remove history from Arlington. I'm thinking out loud. Did not Arlington itself have something to do with the South? Oh, let me think. It could be Robert E. Lee.
Didn't he own the land?
He might have. They took it from him, if you'll remember that. History. Do not erase history. Do not erase the Holocaust, because things like that can repeat. Never, ever, ever erase history. Well, what do you do when you're a bad guy and you just got to get through the TSA line? Have you seen this?
I hadn't seen it.
He went ahead and stuck all of his 17 bullets in a dirty diaper. Got to do what you got to do, I guess. They caught him. Those little x-ray machines there don't much get past that. I'm sure that there's ways around it if you ever watch. Did you watch In the Line of Fire? Did you ever watch that show?
I don't think so.
Clint Eastwood. He was a Secret Service agent that was with JFK. He just happened to be off that day. Years later, he's guarding another president, and it's a guy that wants to take him out, and he builds a wood gun. And he hides the one bullet inside a rabbit's foot as it goes through the line there through security. That was an interesting show. Y'all watch that sometime. In the Line of Fire, Clint Eastwood. Doesn't get much better than that. I guess Odie's been on cruises, and one of our guests, Greg, who's coming in this morning, has been on cruises. I never have. What happens when you've saved up your money because you wanted to go to the Bahamas? It's a beautiful place, I understand. Never been there, but you get on the cruise ship and they go, whoops, bad weather, we're going to Boston. That's where they went instead of the Bahamas.
Take that chance.
Yeah. I think the reenactors were arrested for the Boston Tea Party for insurrection.
Close to it, yeah.
Where's our country headed? They went to Boston, and then they went on. Where else did they go? They went to several other places that was not the Bahamas. Bless their hearts. Feel sorry for them. If you own a Toyota, they're doing recalls, a little over 1 million vehicles for a airbag issue there. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be on the Camry. The Toyota RAV4 is one of those that's included in this. Also, the 2020 through 22 model vehicles, including the Avalon, the Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Lexus. Boy, it's a Highlander. The hybrid vehicles. Well, they just pretty much, if you've got a Toyota car between 20 and 22, check with your local dealer to see if your car is included in that, to be on the safe side. Those airbags, when they come out, they're in a hurry. We don't want anybody hurt. Could be a problem with that. I've heard of this before. Sadness is this is near Christmas. As we talk about BB guns and things of that nature, air rifles go to a different level. They're a little bit more powerful. An 8-year-old, Arizona is where it happened, has died from a gunshot wound to the chest from an air rifle. The bullet penetrated. I can remember being in 3rd grade and one of my best friends was shot with one climbing over a fence. It got hung on the barbed wire and went off and hit him, went in. He ended up being okay, but it was scary there for a little while. I was in 3rd grade. I'll never forget that. He made it okay, but be careful with those. California has had a block. They attempted to ban all firearms, even if you had a concealed carry, to where you couldn't basically carry it anywhere. A federal judge has blocked it. Says that it does interfere with the Second Amendment. Oh, I'm sure Newsom and the gang will try to come up with something new and clever, but that is what's happened there in California there. It's being described as being defiant to the Supreme Court. It is our Second Amendment rights. A lot of folks don't like that, do they? They pick on Chick-fil-A. They are a very Christian-based company. They don't work on Sundays, and they still make enough money to operate. New York is trying to pass a bill that would force Chick-fil-A to be open on Sundays. I don't agree with that, do you?
If they owned Chick-fil-A, they can do what they want to, but they don't.
That's right. Odie says if they owned it, they could do what they wanted, but they don't own it. We'll see what becomes of this, and we'll watch this closely over the next few weeks to see what becomes of this. New York is where that's taking place. Same place that they don't believe in solitary confinement and, well, don't charge you for stealing things. Automatic get out of jail. But they don't like all of a sudden having the immigrants there.
Yeah, please don't send them.
Weren't they? Were they? And y'all have to correct me. Were they a sanctuary city? Were they? They were. I thought so. We can send you more. Matter of fact, that's one of our stories this morning at 7:00. Chicago, get ready. Wheels down pretty soon. Scotty Ray and Odie coming up at 7. We've got your forecast next as we get deeper into what's going on with the weather as we head toward Christmas and New Year's. We'll check that next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we get this day underway. Well, I feel good. Christmas is here, kind of tingly in the air. Oh, wait a minute, that was the chill. I got that all the way walking to work this morning. Woke me up. I don't know about y'all. Ooh, boy. All right, let's get our weather forecast started.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we check our forecast, we go back to 2013 for the warmest day of the year. It was 1979. I was a mere 10 years old. No, wait a minute, that's the wrong thing. 2013, I was thinking of 1979. Where are my thoughts this morning? Well, in 79, I was 10. I'll leave it at that. But it was a warm day. Back in 1901, 10 degrees. 01 was a very cold year, as it set records all this week. As we look across the sky today, we should see 60 to 61, depending upon where you are. A little cooler as we get near Mississippi State, 57 in that area near Columbus Air Force Base. As we go west to Vicksburg, 63 there. As we go south into Hattiesburg, it looks as though we'll be somewhere around 63 also. Now, as we go into Bamaland, Birmingham, 56 degrees today. We'll see 58 in Tuscaloosa. And over in Bear Bryant country, we should see somewhere around 58 developing there. As we go southeast toward Auburn, beautiful trees, 56 there today. As we look across, we're getting into that kind of normal weather. We do have some below average temperatures that are forecasted over the next 10 days. South Texas, South Louisiana hasn't quite made it to Mississippi yet. We'll watch that closely. As we look at our 7-day forecast, here we are, 60 for a high today, and absolutely no wind. Can't beat that, can you? Not a bit. By tomorrow, we're going to be warmer, 65 with a nighttime low of only 41 as we go into the weekend. Saturday, beautiful, 68 with a low of only 50. Now, the rain starts moving in on Christmas Eve. 50% chance of showers. Looks like Santa and Rudolph may have to get through that rain there. We'll have rain, 80% chance on Christmas Day. Should be tapering off in the afternoon as we move into Tuesday. Still 64 and 30% chance of showers. Let's go right on toward the new year. What is the new year? And again, this is that iffy situation that we're looking at. The temperatures are starting to warm up, so probably going to be better for our area. As we see, the only one we'd have to really be concerned about, anything dipping, would be on moving into New Year's night, as we have 34 degrees. The showers start the next day, 56 for a high. And then the nighttime lows go to only 38. So it looks as though our area should be good during this. Now, north of here, you get into Nashville and those areas, it's going to be colder. We'll watch their forecast. But the Meridian area, East Mississippi, the edge of West Alabama, don't expect any snow or ice or anything to that. As we look across, best times to fish today, here we are. It looks like 7 o'clock this morning is going to be your minor time. Your next major time is going to be right at 1 o'clock to go fishing. Chet says get it out. Be there by 12:30. Fishing should be good till about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Well, that's it. Now let's check out the deer hunting side of things as you head to the woods with some cool weather this morning. Your first major time just kicked off. 6:30 is when it fired off. It'll be good through about 8:30 this morning. Your second major time is going to be after dark. You can go on out there about 3:30 and try your best of luck with that. Collinsville Meat brings you that forecast. We are moments away from getting ready this morning for a great show. The American Red Cross is going to be in. Tell us about a few things. You know those folks. You've seen them. They show up during disasters. Help folks. Home burns, they're there to help. They'll be here to talk about a few things today. We also got Greg in the background back there. You got that Smokey the Bear outfit on? Oh, he's showing deer pictures.
No, it's just him.
That's just him walking in front of his camera. We'll be back. Y'all check us out. We're going live in a few moments here at the Scotty Ray Report with Scotty Ray and Odie. Good morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.